They actually closed Lafayette Square because of me. I went there. I had just bought a book, and it's been so long since I've been able to just sit down and read and get immersed in a story in something that wasn't about me. And I'm sitting there, and I'm at the near the end of the park on a bench facing, I believe, H Street. Okay, and I'm sitting there, and I'm just getting into this, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna try and relax for a while. Maybe I'll be able to spend the whole day, I don't know, doing this. I don't know. But I'm sitting there for a while and I'm reading. And behind me, I hear some people. And I look back, and it's a rather large group of young women, girls. And I'm thinking, okay. And so I go back to reading. Then, not long after that, I hear one of them say the word sex several times. She was saying other things too, but she raised her level with sex. And so that got my attention, of course. And I look back and, I'm okay. Well, I'm paranoid. I'm suspicious. Okay. It doesn't matter where I'm at or who I'm with. I am suspicious of everybody. I can't help it. But I was able to let it go, and I went back to my book. Not long after that, they started walking in front of me, coming towards me. And to my left, from my left. And one of them says, I guess the leaders said something about it being her team or her group. And so they pass in front of me, and I'm thinking, this is odd, but I don't know what goes on there. So I don't know. I don't know what goes on. So I went back once again to reading my book, or trying to. And then all of a sudden, I'm sitting there again, and not long after that, here comes a Secret Service cop on his bike from my right. He pulls up to my left, facing me. And he says to me that they're closing the park. And I said, okay. And I start to get up, and I just say, well, why are you closing the park? Because he says, he doesn't know why. They just need to close the park. He pulls up to my left to prevent me from going in that direction. They already knew then that I liked going out to the Lincoln Memorial, the reflecting pool, and walking around that area. That's why he pulled up to my left, to prevent me from going in that direction. And at the time, I had no intention of going in that direction. I wanted to keep reading. So I get up, and I start walking to McPherson Park. That was a park that I would sit at nearly every day. But on my way, I have to pass this General Thaddeus Kosciuszko, I don't know if I'm saying that right, statue. And it was taped off with yellow tape. Now, they have used yellow tape before. I remember it mainly being used at the Courtyard Marriott in Basking Ridge, New Jersey. And I don't remember seeing that tape there. I walked past that statue on the way to that park, on the way to that bench. I'm walking back, and I see this yellow tape, and I'm thinking, oh my God, this cannot be. That's the White House behind me, or it was. Joseph Biden and his wife, Jill, have been living in that house since 2020. What's going on? So I walk to McPherson, and I see two rather large groups of girls, 20, 30 each. And I'm thinking, this is not right. I go up a little bit further, I sit down. Once again, I open my book, and I'm thinking whatever, have been trying to link me to groups of girls for years. It's not true. I was never hooked up with groups of girls. I'm not a sex trafficker. I was never a sex trafficker, okay? You're fucking crazy. You people are insane, all right? You got that? You're fucking nuts, okay? But they closed Lafayette Square to target me.